Hey guys, what's up? This is Erimus Prime
and NightWolf from Nerdy Geek Dog, the source for all your nerdy geeky needs. So today we have some hot new images.
Yeah, so revealed recently was Titan's Return Soundwave. So this was an official release. It was not something that was leaked. It was actually put out on Transformers Facebook page by Hasbro. So they actually showed off Titan's Return Soundwave. This picture that you're seeing now is artwork. It's obviously not the toy. And this is a leader class, and it's a remold of Blaster. So who's surprised there? You know, who would have saw that coming?
We did do a video on a bunch of Titan's Return figure images, and Blaster was included in that, so we'll have a link to that in the description.
Yeah, which we said in that video, which was months ago, like, this is going to happen. Everyone knew it was going to happen. So, I mean, it wasn't a surprise whenever Hasbro revealed it, like, oh, they're making this. It's just...
That video was last year.
Yeah. It's just a surprise to see what it looks like. And so they basically did this to keep it from being leaked before Toy Fair. So it wasn't leaked. They actually put it out.
And it looks cool. The artwork looks really nice.
Yeah, I'm just going to say I like this artwork. They've been doing this for all the Titans Return figures, at least all the leaders that I've seen. Because I saw Power Master Optimus Prime like this, and I'm pretty sure I've seen Blaster in art like this. So, like with the head sort of fusing on. So I like how it looks. So next we will move to the actual picture that Hasbro posted.
Yeah, which is of the figure. We believe this is not CG images or an image. This is the actual figure. The
official product images that Hasbro teases are always CG, like they're computer. They're not the actual thing.
They're
renders.
Yeah.
This looks like it's the physical toy. At least it does to me. One, because the head sort of looks different. And because you can also tell from the chest, like that's clear plastic. You can also see that there's silver paint apps on his legs, like his thighs and his lower arms. You can tell that that's like silver paint or silver colored. And the product image, the renderings show gray and like less paint apps. And you can't tell the clear plastic with all the detail.
Which... On this image, the chest, the clear chest, the cassette tape player part of it looks really cool. There's the Decepticon logo, and then there's some more paint apps on there that make it look really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, there's just a lot of paint apps on this figure, and it looks pretty great.
Yeah, it looks really good. So there's a couple of things to note here right off the bat. He has a lot of remolding.
Yeah. More than I expected.
We can see from these images that he has the same like arms as Blaster, but for the most part he has brand new tooling. Like his legs are completely different.
Way different.
Like same feet, he has the same thighs because that obviously doesn't matter. The crotch plate, like those little skirt section type things, those are different.
Mm-hmm. His cassette.
Yeah, his chest area. He has the same gun that he's holding as Blaster does, but one thing to note is that he has another gun. It's the Gatling gun on his shoulder, which is very iconic to the character.
Looks
and then
cool.
He has a new Titan Master, and obviously the helmet part that goes over it. So, just a good thing to see there. Also, something to note from these pictures is that he is ankle pivot, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah. So
go to the next image.
The next image is of the Titan Master head. Now these next ones will be CG images. They're the ones Hasbro used to tease. And this head is without the crown thing, the head
helmet.
Helmet.
Every Titan Master leader class, and I believe Voyager class. They haven't showed Sentinel Prime without it though. I know Galvatron has like a crest thing that goes over the headmaster, and so does Blaster. I don't remember Power Master Optimus Prime, whether he had one or not. I
don't believe he
I
did.
don't recall. I don't remember seeing anything that showed evidence one way or the other.
So, but the head,
You can tell
looks
that obviously it's
pretty
missing
nice.
his crest.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the head sculpt looks nice. It looks Soundwave. Not much else to say really.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's not that detailed because
like
it's just a simple design. It's a simple head. And so now we're moving on to a picture of the actual Titan Master, which is.
It's Soundwave.
Yeah.
No, yeah, surprise there. One thing to note about this, it is a reuse, sort of the Blaster Titan Master, and what it reuses is the arms and the upper and lower legs. Like the entire leg portions and the entire arms are reused from Blaster, but the whole torso
And the head obviously is different. I really like the only part I definitely like better on the Blaster Titan Master is the chest, but it's just because
it's Blaster's chest, and this is Soundwave's chest. So.
Which no, like nothing against the Soundwave Titan Master. The Soundwave Titan Master looks awesome. Its head looks cool. It looks like almost the same head, just like a little less detailed as Soundwave's. Like the obviously the head he turns into, but overall it looks really nice.
He looks, how do I put it? I like that he has the Decepticon symbol on his chest.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
It works for Soundwave because of the way his is shaped. It didn't work for Blaster, so that's why his Titan Master doesn't have it. But he seems, to me, he looks like he obviously has just as much paint as the Titan Master Blaster, which is pretty much none. But it doesn't stick out as sorely to me as it did with Blaster because the gray and like just the way they colored this doesn't look as bad to me as Blaster's did, since Soundwave has a relatively gray chest and stuff. But Blaster has yellow on his chest and the Titan Master had the red plastic because it needed to for the rest of him. So it's obviously it doesn't have more paint apps besides the Decepticon symbol, but it looks to me the way they did the colors, it looks less lacking than Blasters did to me.
I prefer the Blaster scheme, the color scheme better to this, but I mean no, nothing against this. I do really like that Decepticon symbol on his chest. That looks really nice, and it works especially well because obviously it's on the figures, and so it works really well, and it's a very nice touch on that. So now we are moving on to the Titan Master in the
his little like
replica.
Vehicle. This is so what he's in is like a little fake cassette that goes into Soundwave's chest in either mode or Blaster, because Blaster also has one of these. It's also like for Blaster in his base mode, it's like the DJ stand for the little Titan Master. For Soundwave, I'd say it's probably more of a command center because he's not a DJ type of guy, but it's basically, it doesn't transform into like Ravage or Laserbeak. It's not it, but it is a cassette just like them. It like goes in his chest just like one of those cassette bots will. So obviously it doesn't transform at all, so it looks a little boring, but it's okay. It's playability.
I do like I mean, there's lots of detailing sculpting wise on it, which looks really nice. In this picture, the gold paint looks really metallic and pretty nice.
Yeah, that honestly looks kind of chromy to me, which I know it isn't because this is these are like computer renderings, but it looks shiny. I hope it turns out like that.
Reflections in it, which is weird. But it's
I
hope it carries over because it looks really cool. It may make the rest of it look a little like blandish, because I mean it's like bright gold. Reflective on regular gray plastic.
But it's better than having the whole thing just be gray plastic.
I really like the gold. Another thing to note,
like the rifle.
You can definitely see the scale between the rifle that Soundwave carries and the little Soundwave Titan Master. You
can see how small that Titan Master is.
So,
but I really do like all the detailing on that rifle too,
and it looks
big next to that Titan Master, but the Titan Master is really small. So
yeah, a lot of details, so it's pretty cool. So now we're gonna move on to a much bigger picture,
which is his base mode.
Yeah, man, does this look cool.
It looks a lot like Blasters.
Very similar to Blasters, which is not a bad thing at all.
No, because Blasters looks cool. The only thing I noticed being different in terms of remolding is the like little areas on the sides where the ramps are, and then those base areas like squares.
Those are very different.
Those are very different because of the remolding he has in his alt mode compared to Blaster.
Mm-hmm.
Let me check. I'm looking at images of Blaster right now to check. Yeah. Also the chest, obviously, because the chest is remolded in, so where it folds down, but where it's remolded compared to Blaster. Everything else looks virtually the same. Obviously, though, there is the Gatling gun on the front.
I really like the positioning of the Gatling gun on the base. I think it was placed very well, even throughout the transformation. Like, that's not the easiest thing to do, to have it in a super great place, but I think they did a very good job placing that on the base. I probably like this base better than Blasters, not Sound Blaster. There's two guns because he has the Gatling gun, which I do like. It's more of a war base, not a war base, but it's more of a
militaristic.
Yeah, militaristic base than opposed to Blasters, which is themed more as a almost a party station. Which of course you could play his off easily as like a militaristic base, but this has more of a militaristic feel to it, especially with the colors, the more blue and
it's less
gray.
bright. Yeah, it's less bright.
Not nearly as bright.
But I gotta say that I do like it. It looks really good. It is a little weird to see, Blaster and Soundwave as bases, since they're not characters we've ever in any other continuity seen as bases. But it's cool, and I like it. Obviously, you don't need to, if you want a Soundwave that's a boombox and cassette player and a robot, you can still just transform it like that.
I don't think
you can ignore this mode completely. I personally like this. It's not going to be what I display them in because I want my Soundwave. But it looks cool. It's a nice play feature. One thing to note is that they can. I don't know if I mentioned this in the video before with Blaster. I don't think so, since Fort Max wasn't officially announced, which it is now. There are no product images, but it is officially announced it's happening. All the leader class bases, they can link together, and they can also connect to Fort Max. So I will, once we get Fort Max and several leader class figures, I'm going to put them all together to make one giant city, just to see what it looks like. I'm not going to keep it displayed like that, but I want to see how many leader classes they make with the city modes, so we could base modes, so we can make a giant city. Like, that'll be cool to see.
They're definitely going a lot for playability too with this mode. I am pretty impressed with how they handled doing a triple change. I don't think it really brings down the figure much at all.
Yeah, if anything, I'd have to say that this mode sacrifices a little bit of its aesthetics to accommodate for the robot and cassette player mode, which it should. Yeah, because that's what he should be.
Yeah.
But do I think this looks bad? No.
I
know that it makes some sacrifices? Yeah, but it looks good.
If I had to pick a mode to make some sacrifices, this would definitely be it. Because this is not a classic mode that needs to be catered to with lots of details. But next we're going to move on to the cassette player mode, and it looks pretty cool. The detailing on the cassette box place,
the part where the cassette goes in,
looks really nice. Overall, I really like the design.
It's heavily remolded from Blaster.
Yes.
The whole front is pretty much everything you see. The handle isn't. But Soundwave's chest and lower, his crotch area, they're remolded, like I said before.
And the speaker part.
But the speaker parts are also completely remolded.
Which they should be. And I really like how they did it. It looks way different, and it's really cool because it's you're getting a whole different figure, even though you're still getting the same base mode.
Where the handle is and like underneath the handle where your fingers might touch, that is not remolded. But to the left and right where there's like the little red stripes, that area is also remolded because of the arms Blaster has. Oh, never mind. That might be wrong. I can't tell clearly from these pictures the way the.
I think it might not be remolded.
No, but the paint apps make it look different to me. That red stripe is what make it look different to me because it breaks up the color.
Everything else though, like looks
the
very
whole
different.
front, literally, like the whole front is different.
I do like the different cassette, like where you put the cassette in. I do like how different that is on both of them. I think it differentiates them a lot, along with the speakers, obviously.
I like that they did this. Yeah, I like that they remolded them so they look very different. They didn't have to. Like, they could have kept him with the entire same front section as Blaster did. Now they had to pretty much change where his chest is in robot mode because Soundwave and Blaster do not have the same chest. But like these transform into his legs later, these panels that form the like speaker parts, they didn't have to remold that. Like they could have kept it and they could have passed it off. It would have worked. But I like that they showed the extra effort and they gave us a very different looking alt mode, which looks very nice.
And like we said, the base mode isn't that different, but it doesn't need to be. It's just a base mode. I'm glad you could definitely see the effort.
This is very different. This didn't need to be either. Like this could have been pretty similar, and they would have been passable. But they went, really nice. They went above, and I like how they showed the extra effort.
And like on Blaster, you could see how you can't see it because we won't have the picture up, but the Autobot symbols right on the cassette player and the Decepticon
on
symbols
his chest when he's in robot mode, and Soundwave also has Decepticon symbol on his chest for robot mode.
Cool, I like that. Of course, it's centered on Soundwave and not on Blaster, but I mean, it's an obvious difference. I especially like how like there's an actual play button. Like this obviously doesn't actually work, but just the detailing, like you can
Soundwave has on his crotch. He's always had that before in like G1, and sorry, they stayed true to how that looks, and they kept that there.
So, next we have the robot mode. The CG images. This isn't the actual figure.
This isn't the actual figure, which we did probably, we're not entirely sure, but that first picture we looked at, not the art, but afterwards, the Facebook reveal, we think that is the real picture. We don't think that this is. We think that this is a rendering of the toy in like a computer. So,
you can definitely tell the head is decently different from the picture we showed at first. If you want to go back and look at that, feel free.
I think that might have to do with the angle of it.
Yeah, the visor, kind of looks smaller, but I think it's
the
just
visor
because
looked much bigger in the toy, in the image of the actual
which
toy.
It might be
because of the
which
angle
it might be a little bigger, but I don't think it's like the visor isn't this small in the figure. It's the angle of
also
the head.
The fact that the head like crest, the whole like helmet. That's what I was thinking. The whole helmet area is like. It might have been loose on the toy they took a picture of. Who knows? But either way, it still looks good.
Yeah, it looks good no matter what. The cassette tape chest area does look less detailed. I'm not sure if that's the angle and like looking at the chest part through the clear plastic. I think it's also because they might not have had it on there, but I'm not sure. But
I gotta say, I think it looks less good without the silver paint, but still good. It just doesn't look as nice with all the silver paint that the original one had. But one thing to note is that he has ankle pivot, like I mentioned earlier. Blaster's images, I could not tell because of the way they had it positioned, but this one, you can look at his foot that's closest to the screen, you see a little red there. But you can clearly tell that he has ankle pivot. So that's really nice because that's not very common in, generations at all almost anymore.
This is a remold of Blaster. I would hope that Blaster...
Oh, Blaster definitely will. They did remold the feet, so...
Okay.
They remolded the legs, but they did not remold the feet, so he definitely did. We just couldn't... I could not tell from the photos I had seen before. This obviously shows it off. So, yeah.
So, overall, this figure is looking really nice. The actual figure picture is pretty cool. It does look like the crown might actually be loose.
Yeah, the helmet.
The helmet, sorry, I just keep calling it a crown. But yeah, it does look like it might be loose. I'm not sure, but the visor's still obviously bigger than it was in that other picture. But it looks like a really nice figure, and I'm really excited for it to come out. And for Blaster too. Blaster's really cool.
Yeah, this is going to be, technically it's not announced, but it's very likely this is going to be wave 2 of the leader classes. And it's probably going to be the only leader class we get, because typically we tend to get 2 leader classes in the first wave, and then we get 1 in every other wave. So I hope that's not the case, because we're getting Blaster and Power Master Optimus Prime in the first wave as the leader classes. This is probably going to be the second wave, and this might be the only one. I hope there's others, because I like Transformers and I'll buy as many as they make. But it's probably going to be the only one. It's the only one that's been announced so far, at least. So
overall, this figure is really good. There's a lot more remolding and repainting. Well, obviously repainting, but a lot of remolding from Blaster that they didn't need to do, but they did it anyway, which is pretty awesome of them, because it makes it a much better figure. And if it weren't for the base mode, this would be a pretty different figure from Blaster, which I mean it is, but I mean it's pretty cool. It's impressive how much they remolded it, and it's really nice. The work looks really nice. This is not the only piece of news and pictures we have for you, though.
Yeah, next we have the pictures of Titans Return Deluxe Class Blurr. Now, this was not officially announced by Hasbro. This was leaked. And the photo that we have in front of you is the one that was leaked on Weibo, I believe, is like China's Facebook, essentially. And yeah, you can see that it's a Blurr. This is a Headmaster. He does not have a Target Master, so it's kind of sad to see that for now, at least, Titan Masters might just mean Headmasters. It might not mean actually like Headmasters, Target Masters, and, Power Masters all combined.
I hope
it might just mean Headmasters for now. For now, at least. But yeah, Blurr, this picture at least shows him being a Headmaster. You can't see that in this picture, but we'll get to that a little later. But he looks good overall, the sculpt. One thing to note, if you know Blurr at all, this is not the type of blue Blurr is. It's a very, very dark blue compared to what we're used to seeing from Blurr. And so most people were worried. Like, they saw this figure and they were like, that looks cool. But it's totally the wrong colors. And they're right. So the next picture we're going to show you is actually one that's been altered. Now, this was done by XV from TFUmers.com. At least I believe it was XV. I'm pretty sure. He's on Radio Free Cybertron too, which is a great show.
You should watch it.
But he did this. He played with the lighting of the figure, and he used it in relativity to the gun that he's holding. So he basically played with the lighting to make the gun, everything turn a different color, so that the gun was like white. That's how much brighter he made it. And once he did that, he that's the Blurr that he had, what you see in front of him. He also photoshopped the gray gun back on, I believe, just to show what he would look like with the gray gun. But this is just to prove that whatever picture got leaked might have been really bad lighting or whatever.
I hope so.
I hope so, because I don't want that dark blue. I will buy that dark blue Blurr, but Takara would definitely do the right color if this isn't what Hasbro is going to do. But yeah, I hope they do this light blue. We'll see. I hope that other image was just messed up because of how it was found or whatever, since it wasn't officially announced. It was leaked. So next we have the alt mode of Blurr. So it's Cybertronian, obviously.
Show the Titan Master in it as well.
Yeah, and he looks like a new sculpt, I believe. And obviously the head sculpt form is new because it's Blurr's head, but
these are very blurry images, but
yeah, they're not.
I think the Titan Master does look cool from what I can see of it. I think it looks like decent Titan Master. All the Titan Masters so far have been looking pretty cool, and I don't think this one will be any less.
I really like this alt mode because it looks like Blurr.
It looks really
one thing
cool.
to note also, this is, and we don't have the picture of the real one up of the real leaked image. I'll be careful how I say that. The real leaked image. This is another Photoshop. Well, not Photoshop. It's one that played with the light to make it look like the real color.
I hope this is the real color because this is really nice. And even if they were going to make it the darker color, I hope they maybe see this and they're like, oh yeah, let's make it this color. Because it looks way better. We don't have the original leaked photo, but this
is what
really
I want to
cool.
show anyways because it's what it should look like.
Yes, this is Blurr.
I really like this alt mode though. Like, it looks very, very G1 accurate to me. I also like how the cockpit will be able to open now for the Titan Master, so that's cool. I just gotta say, overall, looks nice. It looks like Blurr to me. You know, the robot mode might look a little weird proportionally, but to some people at least, I think it looks fine for Blurr. But overall, I gotta say, I'm excited for this. I just hope the colors are right.
When I first saw the picture, I thought it was a little proportionally weird, but the more I looked at it, I think it looks fine. It's a weird fuzzy picture too, and so there's not much there. So all of our websites and our Facebook page, we will have links to in the description. You can check out nerdygeektalk.wordpress.com, which is our main site. There you can find all sorts of nerdy, geeky articles and stuff there.
You can also check out tftalk.wordpress.com for Transformers exclusive news done by me, Erimus Prime.
And you can check out my website, NightWolf, at marveltheory.wordpress.com for exclusively Marvel Cinematic Universe news and theories. Also, check out our Facebook page, which is in the description, Nerdy Geek Talk. Make sure to like and follow us there. So make sure to hit that big red subscribe button, like this video, and comment what you think about all this.
Yeah, and also, if you like this video, these were, obviously, Soundwave was actually announced, but Blurr was leaked. He'll be actually officially announced at Toy Fair this year, which is February either the 13th or the 14th. I cannot remember which. But we'll definitely be doing a video for all the reveals Hasbro does there. So yeah.
So make sure you stay posted for that. So make sure you subscribe so you'll know when that video comes out. And again, the link to the other Titans Return image video we did will be in the description. So make sure to check out our channel. Lots of other videos, and make sure to subscribe.
See you guys.